really actually at the same time very interesting with what the panelists have spoken about, and that is bankability, bringing projects that are led from within the continent that are bankable, using various innovative methods to get them off the ground. And really pulling from what a few of the speakers have said, bankability is really built, it's not found. Yes, you can have resource. Africa has 60% of the world's best solar resources, we hear all the time, but that resource is not bankable until you put the things in place. Policies have been touched on, finance has been touched on, James touched on demand, and even Sam touched on bringing the companies together that will offtake it. So it's really, really important to have that bankability angle. One of the things that and to come to your question, you're right, when we talk about renewable energy, as you said at the beginning, only 2% of investment comes into Africa, and most of it is in solar and batteries. When you talk about wind, it's 0.01% of what's installed globally. When you talk about other technologies, and when you even look at expanding the grid and infrastructure like John talked about, it's really, we're really lagging behind. So it's really a key opportunity, as I said in the plenary today. We want to bring more investment into the space, and we want to see how best to make these projects come off the ground, because we do need the power, right? We do have 1.5 million people who will use the power, and shouldn't be paying the highest for energy in the continent. So I think most of the things have been said, but one thing that I wanted to add really is that when it comes to industrialization, a lot of the initiatives on the continent are giving people a bulb and maybe a place to charge their phone, but we're not looking beyond that at industrialization and creating jobs, creating products, green products that are going to are really going to change the face and build wealth in Africa. And yesterday when I was sitting with Sam and we were brainstorming and plotting around certain things, we thought about just exactly what John asked, how can we make some of these mini grids into metro grids, into integrated grids that can connect among each other? Can I buy power from Kisii Town Metro Grid? Because at that point, maybe they have hydro and solar that's cheaper than the wind somewhere else. And can that happen in real time with AI? And can also that create jobs then I could start to manufacture fertilizer or other things. And I think that's really, really interesting when you have a wider ecosystem of thinking. Then the ABSAs and Standard Chartered banks are excited and saying, oh, this looks bankable, this is interesting, because that demand is what will make the projects bankable. So not to talk too much, but I think it's really important that we start to bring each of the different components together and think more holistically around the green industrialization piece.
Yeah, thank you. And
can